Something happened this week that perfectly illustrates the difference between people who are destined to stay stuck and, well, usually miserable, or people who are very successful. And these patterns are things that usually nobody will even realize they're doing until it's too late. Let's talk about this. So, something happened this week that prompted this conversation, and I wrote some notes down in front of me. So, if you see me looking down, that's exactly what I'm doing, is just reading my notes to make sure I stay on task. About 3 days ago, my team submitted ads and we launched a program that has been in beta testing for the past couple of years. And it's a program that can help other people help more people and also help themselves be more successful. It's a program for coaches, therapists, and hypnotists. And first, we were met with a lot of support. In fact, people really engaged when we first launched this program and we launched the ads. And many people reached out to us like, I really hope this goes well for you. I'm going to take a look at it and see if it's something that I can apply to my business. We were met with great support. We were also met with people who gave us feedback, very useful feedback that we really needed in order to make sure all of the systems work. But then there were people that were just giving us resistance, pushback, even hatred. And this is what I call the curiosity versus attack pattern. And it's something I want to share because it's worth exploring. When people encounter ideas that challenge their existing beliefs, they usually take one of two paths. One is curiosity, or the other is attack. And one opens doors, and the other slams them closed. Here's what's interesting about this automatic reaction. The reason why a lot of people slammed those doors shut, they went in with their guard up, is because of their own experiences. When some people are challenged with new ideas, it challenges their existing belief systems. Now, I totally get it. There are a lot of scam artists and there are a lot of charlatans and fraudsters out there that just want to take your money. So people do go in with their guard up, which is really unfortunate that a few people ruined it for the people who are actually genuine. But here's the thing. A lot of people also, when their beliefs are challenged, it's not just their beliefs that are challenged, it's their worthiness. And they're thinking, and their intelligence, because sometimes they think, oh my gosh, I learned things this way. Does this mean the investment I made to learn this is inaccurate or is false? No, not always. In fact, often we can be thankful for the belief systems that we acquired because those belief systems got us here. And sometimes those belief systems will keep us here. And in order to get here, we need to take what we already know and we need to just adjust it or modify it a little bit. And that's exactly what I've done in this program that I've launched. And the reason why I'm launching this new program is to get it out there to more people, to get more feedback, so that way more people will hopefully invest in my bigger trainings that I do and that I'm currently doing and that I will also offer down the road as well. And it's worked for us before, and I know it's going to work now. Just going through some of the initial trials and tribulations are part of it, but it's worth examining. The second is what I call the mirror principle. And the mirror principle, again, is going to explain why people go into defense mode or why they go into support mode. And again, this is really important to understand because you might recognize some of these patterns within yourself. Here's what most people don't realize. The intensity of your response or your reaction to something tells you more about what's happening inside of you than what's happening out there in the world or with what you're seeing. When you find yourself immediately attacking an idea or somebody else's program or intellectual property, instead of questioning it, not exploring it, but attacking it, that's worth paying attention to because it's usually pointing at something that's unresolved within you. So, for example, someone did accuse me of being unethical and deplorable. And this person's ego was coming out, and I totally understand that this person just didn't allow them to see things with a different perspective. And they weren't allowing themselves to have a perspective shift and say, oh, I wonder how this person does that, or I wonder what allows this person to do this. Instead of going into attack mode, this person went into curious mode. And again, this is a person who paid, I'm assuming, a lot of money for certain credentials, and their credentials that they paid for didn't allow them to have an open mind to say, oh, well, hey, this thing that I'm doing and the way I'm doing it now, there's actually maybe another way to do it that might be a little bit better or different than the way I'm doing it now. And their own mirror principle didn't allow them to see beyond what they were already doing. And again, people who can't see beyond that, eh, usually they're going to stay stuck, or they're going to see things and they're going to be miserable because whenever they see somebody putting out something new, they challenge it instead of getting curious. The third is what's called the professional observer. In my work, I see this pattern a lot with not really clients, but I see it more with colleagues. Someone presents an idea, a method, a new approach. And before anyone asks, hey, how does it work? Or what's the thinking here behind this? They go straight into this is wrong, this is unethical. And like what drives that? What drives that? And more importantly, what does that automatic defensiveness, what does it cost us? And the more we go into defense mode with these types of accusations, these types of attacks, the more we attack, the more we lose integrity. And it's really worthwhile noting because I find that, again, because people's guards are up, and I understand why they are up. And like I said, a lot of people, they put their guard up whenever they see an ad, whenever they see marketing, whenever they see like a new person talking about something that worked for them. People's guards go up because they just think, oh, this person is in it for the money, and not, oh, this person is in it to help more people in a completely different way. And they're usually making judgments based on those little brief interactions that they have online. So here's what to do. If you notice yourself going into attack mode instead of curiosity mode, if you notice yourself being super, super defensive, or if you notice yourself shutting down other people's ideas, take that as a sign to get super curious within yourself. Uh, there's a difference between perception and perspective. And perception is usually how you see the world, it's your perspective. Perspective is how you can shift your perception to see things the way other people view them. And this was an interesting opportunity. And again, I know this has only been 3 days, and I know I'm going to get a lot more pushback with certain people. And I know the egomaniacs are going to come out and everything like that. And my team and I, we know that, we understand that, and we're going to do our best to work around that and work through that. But here's what I had to do. I had to shift my perception, or I'm sorry, shift my perception by shifting my perspective. So I had to take on their perspective to change my perception. And originally, I wanted to go into my creative cursing generator book here and and say, "Oh my gosh, that person is such a rectum sandwich," or say something like, "Oh my gosh, that person's such a snot pincher," or something like that. But instead of doing that, I said, Dan, pump the brakes. Let's just kind of float into their perception so you can shift your perspective. And as soon as I did that, it allowed me to see that these people are projecting their own insecurities and their own beliefs onto me, a person that they've only had a very brief interaction with. The people who know me, and the people who have worked with me before, and the people who have been trained by me, and the people who have seen my, listen to my podcast or watch my videos, and they know me more in depth, those are the people that support me. just like I would support them, just like I support their endeavors. And when they come up with a new idea, I am there supporting them, encouraging them, cheering them on. It's the people who don't, who I feel go into that insecure mode because they don't really know me. All they know are the claims that I'm making. And why should they believe my claims? I'm no different than any other person on the internet. Why should they believe my claims? Specifically, if they've been screwed before, specifically, they've been taken for a ride. Yet, when people go into things with that perception, it's really important that you recognize that and you say, That triggered something in me. I wonder why that was triggered, that response or that reaction was triggered in me." So, my friends, the next time you go in with your defenses up, if you do, the next time you're triggered by something, ask yourself, what about that is triggering you? And really float into that other point of view to shift your perspective. As always, be well, do good, be true to who you are, and happy healing. Bye for now.